Most people think the $65 you hand over for a Costco membership is a fee. I'm here to tell you it's actually a loan, one that the warehouse pays back to you with interest, sometimes in a single trip. In my 15 years as a retail analyst, I've seen every trick in the book. I've watched big box stores inflate sale prices and seen buy one get one deals that are actually buy two at triple price. But Costco is a different beast entirely. They aren't trying to make money on your groceries. They make their money on that little plastic card in your wallet. And that's exactly where they leave themselves vulnerable if you know where to look. You see, there are specific loss leaders hidden in those aisles. Items Costco sells at a flat-out loss just to get you through the door. If you walk in, grab these 5 things, and walk out, you've effectively made the warehouse pay you to shop there. But here's the problem. Most of you are distracted by the treasure hunt items, the 85-inch TVs and the giant plush bears. That's how they win. To beat the system, you need to think like a wholesaler, not a consumer. Take the pharmacy aisle, for example. If you're still buying your allergy meds at a CVS or Walgreens, you are quite literally lighting money on fire. I'm looking at the 2026 pricing right now. A 365-count bottle of Kirkland's signature Allertech, that's the generic cetirizine, is hovering around $15 to $20. Go to a name-brand pharmacy and you'll pay that same $20 for a 30-day supply. Think about that math. One bottle at Costco covers you for the entire year. To get that same coverage anywhere else, you're dropping $240. That single swap doesn't just pay for your $65 Gold Star membership. It pays for it nearly 3 times over. And we've barely even left the front of the store. I know what you're thinking. Kaka, I don't have allergies. Fine. Let's talk about your dog. Pet food is where the Costco hack becomes a financial no-brainer. If you're feeding a large breed, you know the pain of those $100 bags of premium kibble. But the Kirkland Signature Nature's Domain line is consistently rated as a top-tier super premium food, often manufactured in the same facilities as brands that cost double. By switching just 2 bags of dog food, you've hit the break-even point on your membership. It gets even more aggressive when you look at the gas pumps. With national averages still being a total headache in 2026, the 20 to 30 cent per gallon spread at Costco is massive. If you're filling up a standard SUV once a week, you're looking at $150 to $200 in annual savings just on fuel. But there's one item in particular, a legendary staple, that is so underpriced it's actually become a meme in the retail world. If you aren't grabbing at least 2 of these every time you visit, you're leaving the easiest rebate of your life on the table. Before I reveal why that $4.99 rotisserie chicken is actually a financial weapon, do me a favor. If you're tired of getting squeezed by inflation-adjusted prices at your local grocery store, hit that subscribe button. I'm spending my week digging through the 2026 price books so you don't have to. Now, you might be asking, how can a chicken pay for a membership? Stick with me, because part 2 is where we get into the heavy hitters, the items that turn a $65 fee into a $1,000 profit. Let's get into the math that keeps the CEOs of other grocery chains awake at night. The $4.99 rotisserie chicken. You probably think of it as a cheap dinner, but it's actually a strategic financial asset. Costco loses roughly $40 million a year, keeping that price locked at $5. Why? Because they know if you're buying that bird, you aren't buying a $15 pre-cooked chicken at Safeway or a $12 raw organic bird you have to cook yourself. If you grab just 1 chicken a week, you're saving about $7 to $10 per trip compared to standard market prices. Over a year, that's $350 to $500 in found money just for eating poultry. That's 5 to 7 times the cost of your membership, before you've even touched a single Kirkland brand product. But it gets even better when you look at the gift card wall. This is the most overlooked free money hack in the entire warehouse. Right now, you can walk up to that display and buy a $500 Southwest Airlines e-gift card for $450. That is a flat 10% discount on travel. If you're a family of 4 flying home for the holidays, buying $2,000 in airfare through Costco saves you $200 instantly. That one transaction pays for a top-tier executive membership and leaves you with $70 in your pocket for airport snacks. And they do this with everything. $100 worth of Domino's or Panda Express for $80, or movie tickets that are basically 20 to 30% off the box office price. You're essentially buying currency at a discount. It's a retail arbitrage play that most people walk right past. Now, let's talk about the secret services that people usually ignore until they're in a crisis. If you or a family member needs hearing aids, listen closely, because this is where the savings become life-changing. In a traditional clinic, a pair of premium, AI-powered hearing aids, like the Jabra Enhance Pro 30s, will easily set you back $5,000 to $7,000. At Costco, you're looking at around $1,600 for that same level of technology. We are talking about a $4,000 price difference. That doesn't just pay for your membership. It pays for your membership for the next 60 years. It's arguably the single greatest value proposition in the history of American retail. The same logic applies to the optical center. I've seen patients walk in with quotes for $600 designer frames and lenses from their local eye doctor. At Costco, you can get a complete pair of high-index, progressive lenses with all the coatings, anti-glare, scratch-resistant, the works, starting around $130. If you have 2 people in your house who wear glasses, you've saved $800 in a single afternoon. Here's the secret the tire shops don't want you to know. It's not just the price of the rubber. When you buy a set of Michelins or Bridgestones at the Costco Tire Center, they bake in a lifetime of services that usually cost $30 to $50 per visit elsewhere. You get free rotations, free balancing, and a 5-year road hazard warranty. In 2026, most shops are charging $100 just for installation. At Costco, that's often included or heavily discounted during their frequent $150 off promotions. Over the life of those tires, you're saving roughly $300 in maintenance alone. But we haven't even touched the items that sit in your pantry every day, the ones that are quietly draining your bank account $5 at a time. Now, let's talk about the liquid gold sitting in your kitchen cabinet. How much can you really save on a bottle of olive oil? More than you think. If you're buying those 16-ounce premium bottles at a standard grocery store for $15, you're paying nearly $1 an ounce. Meanwhile, the Kirkland Signature Organic Extra Virgin Olive Oil, which, by the way, consistently beats out name brands in independent purity tests, is sitting there in a 2-liter bottle for about $20. You're getting 4 times the oil for $5 more. If your household goes through one of these every 2 months, you've just saved $120 a year on a single ingredient. But the real glitch in the matrix is in the baking aisle. Have you seen the price of pure vanilla extract lately? In 2026, a tiny 2-ounce bottle of the good stuff at a retail chain can run you $10. At Costco, you can grab a massive 16-ounce bottle of Kirkland Pure Vanilla for about $10 to $14. Think about that. You're getting 8 times the volume for the same price. 1 bottle of vanilla and 2 bottles of olive oil. And boom, your membership is paid for, and you still have enough left over to buy a giant bag of those peanut butter pretzels. But here's where things get really interesting for the skincare junkies. If you're spending $300 a pop on SK2 facial treatment essence or $100 on high-end Strivectin face creams, you are essentially paying a marketing tax. Costco carries these exact luxury brands and their own Kirkland dupes at prices that feel like a typo. We're talking about the SK2 Essence for $219 instead of $325, or a 2-pack of Strivectin for $50 when one bottle costs $99 at Ulta. If you're a fan of the Clean Skin Club towels that everyone on social media is obsessed with, Costco just dropped a 200-pack of Kirkland facial towels for $18. The name brand? That'll cost you $58. That's a $40 saving on one item. Now, you might be asking, Kaka, how do I actually get Costco to send me a check? This is the ultimate play, the executive membership. It's $130 a year, which sounds steep, but it comes with a 2% annual reward. To break even on that extra $65 upgrade, you only need to spend about $3, $250 a year, or roughly $270 a month. If you're a family of 4 buying groceries, gas, and the occasional set of tires, you aren't just breaking even, you're entering the profit zone. And in 2026, Costco added a new cheat code. Executive members now get a $10 monthly credit for same-day delivery orders over $150. If you use that just once a month, that's $120 in value. Add that to your 2% check, your $400 savings on glasses, and your vanilla extract arbitrage, and you aren't just a member anymore. You're a shareholder in your own household's wealth. But look, all of this only works if you avoid the one trap that Costco sets at the end of every aisle. If you fall for it, all these savings vanish before you hit the parking lot. I'm breaking down exactly how to spot those fake deals and the 3 things you should never buy at the warehouse in my next deep dive.